when I looked up some stuff, I'm like, man, there's only 4 major banks all over the planet, but, you know, we got all these weird names for these banks. So we got like 4 families that has control of all these banks. Like, that's nuts.
You don't need any of these banks.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Okay.
You stay away from these commercial banks. All of these are commercial banks.
So are you saying public banks, correct? All these banks
no
are public
private banks. Okay? There is no private banks. They're all public.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
I'm listening.
They're all operating in commercial endeavors.
Okay.
And they can close their doors anytime.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, like bank holiday. Yeah.
Well, bank holiday or basically closed today and basically not open tomorrow.
That's
Even
right.
though tomorrow's not a national holiday or anything like that. They could close down at any point in time. And you can't, even if you had your assets in a safety deposit box, you would not be able to access them.
Yeah, you're right, because in your earlier recordings, you said the same thing. They have first and last word.
Okay, now, you just need to sit back and just calm down and listen tonight, okay?
Great.
Okay?
Louis. Great. Hey, may I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was, this Calvin W., got a bank account by using his BOA and his 98 and passport. And I was wondering, could you discuss that also?
No, I'm not going to discuss that. I don't know a damn thing about it, and I don't want to know anything about it, okay?
Okay.
Because it's not the right way to go.
I was just wondering, Patrick. No, I was just wondering because,
okay,
I seen it posted, and I was wondering, what is that all about? I mean, it's not in your work or any of your docs, so I was just wondering what it was about.
No, everything that basically I'm going to be talking about tonight is going to be entirely different in what, and we were so damn close to this about a month ago with our money orders, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the process.
Okay.
So basically I'm going to list off a couple of words right now that you people need to go and look up.
Bill Smith and Lawrence Singleton.
About time you got on here.
Yeah.
You're late.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleeping in again.
Mm-hmm. Can't help yourself.
You sound much clearer tonight coming in. You sound much clearer tonight, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin Woodruff.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to give you a list of words that you need to go and look up, and these are all out of Anderson's Law Dictionary. So if you don't have it, basically you best get in there. Tom's got the links up there. You go and you study these words because I will be utilizing those words and their meanings in the document that I'm going to address tonight. Okay?
Yes.
Now, the first word is going to be account. Okay? You look up the whole definition on account. What you're going to be really looking at is account rendered. What it says about account rendered in there. The next word is bailment. Okay? But you're going to also look at the word bailiff. Okay? IFF. And that is going to be the bankruptcy court or the federal district court, as they are the chief bailiff over the bailments that are out here. Then in bailment, you will find the definition of bailee and bailor.
Okay.
Then the next one is a bankrupt. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The next word is character.
Okay.
The next word is community. The next word is excessive. The next word is lies, L-I-E-S. And then lying, L-Y-I-N-G, in wait. The next word is partnership.
Okay,
the
I'm
next
still with
word is quasi. Q-U-A-S-I.
Quasi. Okay.
The next word is render. R-E-N-D-E-R. The next word is secret. S-E-C-R-E-T-E. And then the last one is trust. And in Anderson's dictionary, there is about 8 pages covering trust. Now, what this is all about is basically the United States Corporation for profit that was created in 1871 as a copyright of the original nonprofit United States Corporation is a bankrupt. And when you look at the definition of bankrupt, you're going to find that basically a bankrupt has no morals and basically is a trader, T-R-A-D-E-R, who secrets himself or does certain acts, other acts, tending to defraud his creditors or the true bailors in their system out here right now. They got us under counterfeit securities with the certificate of live birth, and the United States and the state of whatever governments, they're all bankrupts. They're operating for a profit, but they're bankrupt. They have to zero their books at the end of every year, so they have to borrow money, so they're a bankrupt. And then they operate in secret, and secret applies to any making away with property which puts it unlawfully out of the reach of a creditor. The true bailor may be by putting legal impediments in the way by which he is prevented from getting possession in order to effect payment. And that's what they have done. They have put all these damn legalese impediments out here, so stay away from all the damn codes and everything else. They're all legalese impediments put there by the bankrupt to prevent you from getting possession of your assets so that you can make a lawful payment. They want you to use a debt monetary payment system or to pay out of your back pocket and keep you dumbed down and enslaved into their system. The document that I'm going to be redoing is my American National Civil War Hypothesis, and it will be Rev 3. But it's going to be now titled, Tom will still put it up underneath the same heading, but it's going to be my American National Bailor Hypothesis of the present bankrupt civil bailment war. And see, the United States and the state of took our certificates, whether it be our certificate of live birth as a claiming document for our national security inheritance, or our DD-214, or our driver's license, or our certificate of title to our vehicle, or our title deed to our property, or our, I think I said driver's license, fishing license, whatever. They're all basically certificates out here of a bailment. So they came in as a quasi-bailor. They're not the true bailor. They're a quasi-bailor, appearing to be the one who is putting the assets up, that it's their assets, but it's not. So they're a quasi-bailor. And they're putting them up for the benefit of the bailee, who is the Federal Reserve banks. So the Federal Reserve banks are holding our counterfeit certificate bailments, holding our real assets as a bailment. And these are being held by the bailee, the Federal Reserve banks, as a quasi-in-trust bailment. Now, we have to come in as the true national bailor and see all of these implied contracts are up. At the age of 21, the certificate of live birth was supposed to be released, but we didn't come forward as the true bailor and demand an account let me see, what the hell is that? Account remnant, okay, RENDEREND, remainder, okay, an account remaindered of those bailments. So, and see, the bailor we're not coming in as the creditor. You don't want to be the creditor. You go into the bankruptcy court or any court as the creditor, and you're going to be tied up in court for a long time. But if you come in as the bailor, especially after the contract implied actions against that contract are fulfilled, then the bailor can pull the bailment off the shelf at any point in time. Any point in time. You just have to basically present your account remaindered demand to the federal chief judge or to the bankruptcy judge, the federal district bankruptcy judge, as they are a chief court bailiff. They have two other outfits that are working for them as basically bailiffs. One is the Secret Service. The Secret Service will supply and do a forensic audit of the national bailment accounts. They are the ones that are sitting as, right now, as the protectors of those bailments as they are operating the enterprise financial management system. So they are the accountants, bailiffs, the United States accountant bailiffs. That's the U.S. Secret Service. Then you have the U.S. Marshals, and they are the United States bailiff enforcers. Upon the orders from one of the chief court bailiffs, they are to arrest the bailments and restore them to the true national bailor, you. Now, you can go about, but you have to, and this is right out of the movie, National Treasure. The secret lies with Charlotte. And basically, this is the secret with an E on the end of it, and it lies with our bailment that we have to come in and resurrect, and it lies with Charlotte. What is a charlatan? A charlatan is one who has a bad character. A charlotte is one who has a good character, one who is in honor. Why do you think the Secret Service and the FBI and the U.S. Marshals have come around and visited some of us? Because they're trying to find out what our character is. And you have to be a worthy free man of a character in honor. You have to approach this and be in mercy. That means you are not to seek any revenge whatsoever against these damn bankrupts. You let sleeping dogs lie. Okay? You get on with your life. What is in the past is dead. You can't resurrect what happened in the past. There is no way you can ever correct and change what has already been done.
That's right.
So you have to get on, and then you have to know and have the right understandings of your national responsibilities when you go forward. And your national responsibilities are to basically protect the widows, the children, and the homeless out here, as they are part of the nation. They are your brothers and sisters. You have to walk softly and carry a big stick, as Teddy Roosevelt said. You do not want to get back in bed with the snakes. You take your stick out and you beat them back down into their hole and keep them there. And that means anybody that is operating in the commercial usury monetary system. And you have to walk softly because these people will hate the hell out of you. So you operate in the stealth. You do not broadcast this out to the other people because basically they will come after you. You do not go and join any club or anything of that regards. You operate as an individual. You as an individual can do more benefit than any club ever thought about doing because basically you've got to have a meeting of all those other damn stinking minds in that club before you can go any further. Where you as an individual, you have just one mind to make up and you go forward. You don't have to sit around waiting for the vast majority to make a ruling. I hope that makes a little sense to you, and basically you get the understanding. And all we need to do, just like the boys down in South Carolina, the bankruptcy judge told them, you can do this yourself. And how can you do this as yourself? As you are the true national bailor of your items that are being held in a quasi-bailment with the Federal Reserve. And you put an order, a demand into as this account rendered claim into the chief judges, to the district court chief judge or the bankruptcy court judge. I would hit both of them. Let the other know that you contacted the other one too, so that basically they're both in bed with one another. See, it works out great in my state because basically the chief judge is a male and the bankruptcy judge is a female, so they can share a bed. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But see, all of these contracts that we sign, these certificates and everything, they are a community contract. And just like a marriage contract, there is a male and a female in the marriage. And basically the state of, or the United States is acting as the male in the marriage. And they've got you, even though you may be a male, they've got you listed as basically the female. And basically in any contract in marriage, basically the male is supposed to be the one who is to pay the bills. That is what I tried to tell you about the book of Ruth. Okay? The husband is, the female is supposed to be under the protection of the father, the husband, or the dead husband. And then another way to look at it is that basically the female always gets the shaft. You can make up your own mind on that one.
Basically got it right.
And that's basically what we've been doing, is we've been getting the shaft out here from the United States bankrupt and the state of Iowa or the state of wherever bankrupt, because they have no morals. They have no honor as a for-profit corporation. Their prime goal is for their back pockets and their back pockets only. That's why we've been having a hard time, is because we've been sending most of our money orders, and see, like what Bill did out to the IRS out in Ogden, Utah, and got a very nice thank you back from them. He basically voluntarily gifted them some of his bailments held at the Federal Reserve Bank. He didn't owe anything, but he didn't know why he didn't owe anything. Because when you go into the bailment and you read the definition of there are three kinds of bailment are recognized. That in which the trust is for the benefit of the bailor, of the bailee, or both bailor and bailee. In the case of the first kind, at a slight care is required. In the cases of the second kind, great care is required. In cases of the third kind, ordinary kind. In absence of the required degree of care constitutes negligence for which the bailee is responsible. Now, you were not the bailee or the bailor in the original bailment with the Federal Reserve Bank. So it was not for your benefit that this bailment was placed there. It was for the benefit of the bankrupt United States and, in my case, the bankrupt state of Iowa, and also the foreign Federal Reserve bankers, as they are the foreign creditors to the United States and to the state of Iowa. So it was for their benefit. They're the ones that owe the bills. But you didn't know how and where to process the bills into. And I'm sorry that she is no longer with us. But Victoria Joy basically was on to a lot of this about the bailee and bailor scenario. But she didn't see, and even like on the money orders I was trying to do about a month and a half ago, whatever, to where I had us listed as the bailor and the United States Treasury as the bailee. I had it wrong. It should have been the bailee, should have been the Federal Reserve Bank. And we should have been listed as the true bailor. Because when it goes on down in bailment, presumably the bailor is entitled to the thing. The bailee is to do what the principal directed, restore the article or account to him for it. He accounts when he yields the paramount right of immediate possession in a third person who is found to be the true owner. You are the third person in this tribunal that is sitting on top of the pyramid on the dollar bill. You have to come in as the paramount, standing at the peak, the pinnacle of that triangle. on top of the Great Pyramid. You're the principal. You're the true owner. You're the true bailor in this process. And you are the one that basically bailed them out, and then but they had to get you under a coercion of being an associate in their counterfeiting of those certificates. If they did the counterfeiting all on their own, then they could be held accountable as a counterfeiter. But you had to be involved into it to be a co-conspirator in the counterfeiting. Then, see, you are the national or the sovereignty of the nation, and basically they could not press charges of counterfeiting if you were involved in the counterfeiting. You are the one that has to come forward and bring out the charge of counterfeiting and revoke the counterfeited documents. Now you've left the other party high and dry. They have to clean up the books. If they basically continue with that counterfeit instrument, now they can be legally processed. As a true counterfeiter. See, we thought we had everything down right, okay? Well, we've had a lot of understandings out here, but we didn't have it all tied together. Now, I'm telling you all of this, and I am expecting a lot from you. And that is that basically you have to be in honor. You have to stay away from any insurance policies. You have to terminate all of those. You do not need those. I would not take these items as gold-backed bearer bonds and go and deposit them with a foreign bank, offshore, whatever. As an American national, I would keep them right here and utilize them basically for the nation. The United States of America, not for the corporation, but for your fellow Americans. But you walk softly and carry a big stick. And that does not mean that you go out and flaunt your authority or anything like that out here. You will be given enough stealth documentation, just like in the movie Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Where Owen?
You will basically be given a protective identification. All the documents that you need to basically stay in a stealth mode. I would turn around and deposit if you get the bearer bonds, I would turn around and place them on deposit with the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia in a private foreign grantor trust account in Philadelphia. That's where the IRS International is located, and basically that is where the true treasury of the country was initially set up, or the true treasury of the nation was set up. The true trust of the nation. And then basically you will be given a debit card or whatever, and they will process that through, and you will probably get some special checks for different items to basically process through directly to that Federal Reserve Bank, but it will be basically going through the de jure treasury agents that are located in that Federal Reserve Bank to make the conversion. But it will not be debt money. It will be asset-backed money. And you will be given your discounted value back in return. And you'll probably get a better discounted value return than what the IRS gives with the 1099 OID process. See, right now, we'll say roughly the real dollar is only 10 cents. So that's a 10-to-1 devaluation, where the Federal Reserve only, or the IRS with the 1099 OID only gives you another 10 cents back. So basically, for your dollar real asset, you're only getting 20 cents out of the whole process. You go into a commercial bank, and that's all you're going to get is 20 cents on the dollar. You're not going to get your full dollar's value. So you best keep it where you get 100% value in return. You will have more asset than you know what to do with. And then by having it in this foreign grantor trust, now you can basically pass it on to your lineage down the line for their benefit, and you can try and educate your lineage to stay the hell away from these damn corporate bankrupts. The money changers, the churches. We have basically 3 Federal Reserve banks that we have accounts at. You have the one that's on the back of the Social Security card at the national level. You have your state Federal Reserve Bank account. And mine is basically through the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, but it's at the sub-branch, Federal Reserve sub-branch of Des Moines, Iowa. My national is at Atlanta. Then we also have another Federal Reserve Bank that basically our certificate of live birth was also placed on deposit at, and that is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to be the bailment for the Church of Rome as a creditor all the way back to the Civil War time, and basically they've been a funder of all the wars out here ever since. And that is held in a cestui trust also in that Federal Reserve Bank. See, the United States came in as a quasi bailor at that Federal Reserve Bank in New York, and basically put it in a quasi trust, a cestui trust bailment. Our assets are still here. They're not overseas. They're not down in Puerto Rico. They're not over in the Netherlands. They're not over in the Church of Rome. They're right here in this country. Now, what we've lost in a lot of cases is basically what we paid out of our back pockets, because we basically voluntarily gifted those over to these bankrupts out here in paying their taxes for them, in paying their bills for them. In some cases, like with the utility companies, all of that gifted money ended up going to the shareholders of those corporations, or to the VPs, or to the vice president, or the president, or whatever, to go on his vacation down to Cancun. Yeah. You're sitting here working 3 or 4 jobs, and then turning around and paying for some damn nitwit vacation for him. Hell of a deal. Now tell me who's getting the shaft. Okay, so basically we have to come in, and basically I'll be posting this document probably up tomorrow. I've got a few more things to try and straighten out on it, but it's going to be 3 pages now. And basically my national bailor hypothesis of the United States bailiffs, the U.S. U.S. District and bankruptcy courts as the chief bailiffs, the U.S. Secret Service bailiff accountants, and the U.S. marshals bailiff enforcers. Now, in any court action that they go and they try and arrest you on, if they try and force you to do a bail, to place a bailment on deposit with that court, that is excessive bail. You have already placed all of the bailment that is needed in with the state already. So basically, that is excessive bail that basically that court is trying to get you to pay out of your back pocket. That's why I had the definition for excessive up there. To know that you're getting another shaft by their trying to make you do a bailment with their commercial bailment insurance writers. That are all, everybody is getting a kickback off of you. All of the, and this is a con. Everything is a con. Because this is one of the biggest carnivals in the world. It's a big casino, but it's a con. It's a wager. They are wagering that you are not going to wake up to the truth and go about it the right way. They want everybody to revolt. Then they have the right of reprisal to defend themselves. But when you use the law against them, then they have no grounds of reprisal. And you come in and you show mercy, okay? You be in mercy. And you seek no revenge. Now, they have to operate the same way. Okay? All of this basically came out of the dictionaries. And basically all the words that I gave you tonight came out of Anderson's dictionary, 1889. And basically those gave a better definition of what needed to be understood. And then a few of the movies out here that basically we've seen, and basically they've reiterated in several of those movies different statements, like the secret lies with Charlotte. The secret lies with your character. And your character has to be in honor. Now, honor does not mean you can't use a few cuss words and you can't have a few drinks and you can't have a few things like that. But if you're in honor, basically that is what these guys will never be able to do. The bankrupts, they have no morals. They have no honor. That's why they're bankrupt. So basically, I'm going to pretty much stop right here and then basically let you ask a few questions. I'll try and have this posted up to Tom, faxed over to him so he can post it up in the morning. You can read over this document tomorrow then and be ready for the call tomorrow night. But as far as right now, if you want to have a few questions, go ahead and start.
Patrick, what are the bearer bonds you talked about? Are certificates that were redeeming driver's license and certificate of live birth?
They will be the value that basically is covered by the accounts, by the bailment. Okay? The bailment, the driver's license, and those things will all go away. They're all have an intrinsic monetary value attached to them. And they will be replaced with a gold-backed bearer bond.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Got it.
And you can take those and put them, like I said, into a commercial bank, whatever. But you're only going to get 20 cents on the dollar. You keep them with deposited in with the Treasury in Philadelphia, and you'll get 100% value.
You don't need my passport, do you?
Huh?
He said something about a passport.
You will get a completely different passport. But until you come out and you renounce this and then you claim your bailments off the table, you pick your marbles up, and that's your bailments are your marbles, and you go and play in your own sandbox with your marbles. Now, I hope I didn't offend too many females by the usage of the word shaft. I tried to tone it down a little tonight.
Well, you did say the males are getting it too, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think if the females doing anything, they're probably laughing at the whole thing too, because basically everybody is getting a shaft, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you pretty much made it simplistic, Patrick. You know.
And see, basically, these guys know that both the females and the males have both traits of being a female and a male. It's just one is more predominant than the other. But they got you running around thinking that you're the one that is in control. You're not. Until you come in and stand in as the true national bailor and take your bailments off the table and claim that all of these certificates that they're operating with are counterfeiting instruments and that you are revoking them, then you stand in as the true national principal executive officer. And see, our national, the contract with the certificate of live birth, I said this before, was up at the age of 21. Mm-hmm. The Social Security account, the selective service account, which is tied to your DD-214. That obligation is up at the age of 25. The age of 25 is when you were supposed to become a free man. Okay? The right to vote is only for a commercial, for-profit, United States, all-capital citizen. The right to vote was given at 21 after 1871. Then it was changed to 18 to increase the bunch of nitwits running around voting these bankrupt government people into office. The right for women to vote was another fraudulent statute that was put into place to basically break the families up. Whenever they try and separate the women from the men, they have one goal, and that is to break the family up. They separate the family, and then basically you've lost your foundation. You really don't know who you are any longer, and then basically they can attack one party or the other. And basically they bring in their attorneys and everything else to fleece the hell out of you.
So, Patrick, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, my home was sold in a sheriff's sale several years ago, but I'm still in it. The sheriff has never come out to my property or sent me anything in the mail or anything. So now, when anybody goes down to the county and look up my property, it's in a sheriff's, it's been sold in a sheriff's sale, but I'm still in it. So wouldn't the sheriff be one of these quasi-trustees or whatever?
He is basically, in a way, he's going to be a bailiff in the process at the county level. But see, if you go in and see your mortgage and everything was all being held at the state level, okay, at that Federal Reserve Bank that services the state capital. And see, that's when you go in and do your account remaindered claim to the United States District and the United States bankruptcy courts. You present your account rendered claims of your bailments held by those counterfeit certificates in quasi-trust by the Federal Reserve banks. And basically then the court has to turn around, as they are the chief bailiffs of the court, issue their chief bailiff orders to the Secret Service to do a forensic audit of the bailment account, which would be, the mortgage would be one of those bailment accounts, and to the U.S. Marshals to arrest the bailments and restore them to the national bailor-u. And they should turn around because, see, they utilize that property in a bonded scenario, and the bill has already been paid for that if you basically had that mortgage for over 3 years.
Yeah.
I tried to tell people about that 3-year process, how the things are all paid for. And see, that's addressed with the requirements of the comptroller of the currency.
So I got rid of one mortgage, a mortgage company I had before, because the county said there is no mortgage on this house. But now I have somebody else that latched on last October or November.
Yeah,
so
well,
now
you
they're
just need
sending
to put
me
those
bills.
guys aside and not worry about them and get this other process going.
Okay.
And all you need to do is basically write up pretty much from the one document that I had there before that I sent into the chief judge and to the bankruptcy judge, and just reword it, and I'll be working on that tonight in some regards to give you people a template, because most of you can't think outside the box. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a template to try and put down what you need to address to these district court, chief judge, and the bankruptcy judge as the chief bailiffs, as your account rendered claims.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? I hope I'm not too harsh.
No, not this time, Pat.
I'm not going to cry now if I can get my property back.
Yeah, well, basically, the thing is, you might want to get a better piece of property, and you might want to move out of that damn place you're in, especially if it's around a major city, and get out into the more rural area to where you might be able to have a better chance of survival.
Well, yeah, that's a thought.
It's a big thought. Because when the food supply goes down, and basically they lock up basically most all of these major cities because of the beltways that are around them. And see, those beltways are nothing. Go and take a look at how a penitentiary is set up. Same damn stinking scenario. Those beltways do not help people get around town any faster. They're there to lock that town down when it comes down to that point of taking total control of the people inside that town. And they will starve you out.
Hey, Pat,
okay, any other questions?
Yeah, you said something earlier about gift, because the conversation you was basically saying tonight was quit using their stuff and develop our own. You know, that was a nice little spanking. And then you mentioned gift.
I mentioned what?
Gift. The word gift.
Yeah.
Presenting a gift. And the gift could be like a gift of forgiveness.
Yeah, anytime you pay out of your back pocket for something, because they have taken all your inherent national assets, and basically all the utility companies are basically corporations. They're debtors. They have to borrow money to operate. Well, where do they get the money? They go to the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve Bank is utilizing your bailments that are under these counterfeit securities as the collateral for the bailment or for the funds that they're paying over to this utility company to operate with.
So it's like okay, let's just say you got a light bill in so many words. You got a light bill and you're paying a monthly service for it. So what they actually do, they actually take some of these things off of what's already presented to them, which is your bond, and then you coming out your back pocket paying them again, correct?
You pay them, yeah, basically. They can turn around and put a set-off back to the Federal Reserve Bank because you're turning around and paying them with your labor.
Yes.
Okay? And basically your labor is $1 value, but basically what you're getting out of that dollar's value is only 10 cents on the dollar. See how the game is played? You're going to lose by continually playing their game.
It sounds pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's why you said, whatever you get, just get you some nice land where you can grow your own food, take care of you and your family, and whatever else that comes in, take it and put it in the can and throw it in your backyard. Bury it in your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I was sitting down having a discussion about money and holding up a dollar bill. And I was talking to a young lady in the store. I said, it's kind of funny that you want me to give you a debt instrument to get something out of this store, and I'm paying you with a debt instrument, so that means I never really owned it. And for some reason, she actually got it. I said, do this make any sense to pay something with a debt instrument and receive something, I said, that really don't make sense. I said, because if you read some of the rules, there is no money. So I guess they came up with the fiat currency because people couldn't understand that it wasn't any money, because way back whenever, they actually gave
all they're giving you is just, I don't know, have you ever gone to a casino?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you explained that.
All that they're doing is giving you tokens.
Yes.
That's all that this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what fiat currency is.
And basically, it is a devaluation of your real assets.
Yeah.
And they're going to wear you down if you play their damn game. You got to stop playing their damn games.
You're right about that, Patrick. Because I remember back in the day, when I was much younger, we used to actually write an IOU, and come to find out, the IOU has more value than this fiat currency.
But see, that is all that basically all these bills are. When they send you a bill, it's an IOU.
See that?
You have to turn around and send it back and address, okay, this IOU is now to be addressed to the Federal Reserve Bank that is servicing this account.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
If you come out of the system, okay,
yeah.
now you will basically be getting a proper conversion of your assets, okay, and you'll get your full dollars value in the conversion, but you will still be operating using their tokens.
Right.
But you're going to be one of the high rollers in the casino now.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to be the one that gets comped everything.
Yeah. Because what makes it so killing, you made it so simple.
Yeah.
But
I know these things. I know all these things for a fact.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I've been a gambler. I've been sort of a quasi-high roller at times. I've been comped with some of the best rooms in the casinos just to keep me there and try and wear me down. Wow. They did a good job, too.
Yeah, offering free stuff. And pay for your rooms for you and everything else. But, what you said earlier ago, as far as the IOU, Federal Reserve, thank you, Patrick, because I have full clarity on what you just said.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? No other questions? Okay, Tom, I'm done. Tom. You there?
I had my mic off to keep the noise down. Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'll get this over to you. I'll try and work on that other document and have those two documents sent over to you in the morning.
Yeah. Right. You've stepped back to the what we've been doing before, but added some good meaning to it.
Okay.
So that's pretty understandable. Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Good night.
Night.